And welcome aboard. I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to the intersection of business and politics right here on Robert Cardoza Live, where I do an honest, unbiased analysis of the issues confronting you today that affect the decisions that you're going to make for both your personal and your business life. I come to you Monday through Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific Time on Spreaker Radio, Blog Talk Radio, MyCast, Live Radio, and countless terrestrial stations worldwide. I also broadcast on Roar 1776 Radio every Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Please follow me on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Google+, and also YouTube, where you can listen to all of my shows 24/7. Go to my website at www.robertcardozalive.com for archives of both my radio and television shows. You can also access my show live right from my website simply by clicking on the icon labeled Listen Live. Email me at robertcardozalive@gmail.com. It's where I get the emails I deal with here on the show. And you can call into my show if you want to comment or just engage me in conversation about anything. You can dial directly into the studio at 909-545-6516. Again, that number, 909-545-6516. Now, on today's show, we're going to discuss what's in the news, new legislation the IRS loses, and I'm going to answer your emails just like I always do. Today, my expert contributor is going to be David Garrett on the law, and my special guest will be Sean LaFave with his ongoing series, Geared for Wellness. But right now, I want you to know that at 4:02 p.m. Pacific Time, it is currently 75 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. But you know what? Right now, let's deal with the news. I've encapsulated this so we can deal with a lot of things that are going on. In that way, we can cover a lot of stuff in a very short period of time, and you can talk to your neighbors, your friends, your peers, people you work with or work for, and they'll know that you know what's going on in the world today. Now, first off, ready to run. Clinton to announce a 2016 bid on Sunday. Hillary Rodham Clinton will end months of speculation and launch her highly anticipated 2016 presidential campaign on Sunday, skipping a flashy kickoff rally in favor of conversations with voters about the economic needs of middle-class families in the next generation. Clinton, the former First Lady and Secretary of State who lost the 2008 nomination to Barack Obama, will begin this time by courting voters in living rooms and cafes in early voting states. If victorious in 2016, she would become the nation's very first female president. The first official word of her candidacy will come in a video posted on social media and to supporters online, according to two people familiar with her plans. She will then turn to states such as Iowa and New Hampshire, looking to connect directly with voters in small, intimate settings. The people familiar with her plans spoke on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to discuss them publicly. Clinton has offered glimpses in recent speeches of why she will again seek the White House. Another preview came Friday in the epilogue to the paperback version of her 2014 book, Hard Choices. You know what? Time will come. It looks like she's going to go unopposed by the Democratic Party, but she's going to have plenty of opposition from the GOP hopefuls coming up. We've got two. Soon we'll have, I'm going to guess, somewhere between 15 and 20 GOP hopefuls that would like to run for president. It's not going to be a walk in the park for Hillary Clinton. GOP hopefuls give the NRA event an earful on Hillary Clinton. The prospect of Hillary Rodham Clinton's imminent presidential campaign dropped like a gift from the heavens at the National Rifle Association's annual convention today. A succession of potential Republican presidential rivals slung criticism and cracked jokes about the Democratic candidate-to-be, and NRA leader Wayne LaPierre, never given to understatement, predicted doom for the nation if she should win. Hillary Rodham Clinton will bring a permanent darkness of deceit and despair forced upon the American people to endure, LaPierre said. The NRA Executive Vice President and CEO vowed that the powerful gun lobby would stand shoulder to shoulder to prevent her from becoming the next president. Clinton plans to announce her candidacy for the Democratic nomination on Sunday. Many speakers at the NRA convention took the opportunity to say something about it. Is this the ready for Hillary gathering? Joked Senator Ted Cruz of Texas. God only knows what's going to happen in these cases, but the blood is going to spill, I can guarantee you that. Here's one for you. A man was shot by police had much to celebrate in recent months. Yep, we're talking about North Charleston, South Carolina. Less than 2 months before he was killed, Walter Lemire Scott turned 50 and wanted everyone around him to join in the celebration. It was February, and Scott's family had taken him to dinner at a Japanese steakhouse. As waiters and other staff gathered around to sing Happy Birthday, Scott jumped up on the table and started dancing. He had everybody in the restaurant laughing. Rodney Scott said of his older brother, that's the kind of person he was. Walter Scott had much to celebrate. His job as a warehouse forklift operator, which had begun as temporary work over the holidays, was going so well, his boss was determined to keep him as a permanent hire. And he popped the question to his longtime girlfriend, who had agreed to become Scott's third wife. But Scott also had a problem that kept him looking over his shoulder. The father of 4 had fallen behind again on his child support payments. Failure to pay can mean jail time in South Carolina, and Scott had been locked up 3 times since 2008. His family suspects it was Scott's fear of returning to jail that led him to run during the traffic stop last Saturday. Scott ended up dead, shot in the back. The police officer who opened fire was charged with murder after shooting was caught on video. The case stirring outrage against the country as the latest instance on the unarmed black man killed by a white officer. Let's see here. It doesn't get better. It just keeps getting worse. Don't you just kind of get tired of the news these days? You can't say anything good. You can't find anything good. You can't find anything worthwhile. It just makes things horrible. How about this? The stage is being set for a historic Obama-Castro meeting on Saturday. Panama City, President Barack Obama and Cuban President Raul Castro moved toward a groundbreaking meeting on the sidelines of the Summit of the Americas today I should say, in what would be a remarkable display of reconciliation between 2 nations with the leadership of the Western Hemisphere gathered around them. The powerful symbolism of a face-to-face exchange Saturday between the 2 leaders could signal progress, even though both sides are still working through milestone issues that would lead to the opening of embassies in Washington and Havana, the first stage in a new diplomatic relationship. Obama cast the move to end 50 years of hostile relations as a triumph for the Cuban people. As the United States begins a new chapter in our relationship with Cuba, we hope it will create an environment that improves the lives of the Cuban people, he told a meeting of civil society groups, including Cuban dissidents, not because it is imposed by us, the United States, but through the talent and ingenuity and aspirations and the conversations among Cubans from all walks of life so they can decide what the best course is for their prosperity. Now, don't go away. When we come back, I've got more news for you. We're going to talk about the 2 women killed in Illinois tornadoes, and they were neighbors and friends. So we'll be right back. Don't go away. And we're back. Looks like we're having some problems with our commercial break here. And so what we're going to do is go right on back to the news. Let's see if we can't get this this board working a little better. It's my first time at this thing, so you'll see what happens. And that doesn't seem to be working, so we'll find out what the heck is going on when it comes to this doggone thing working. I don't know why it's not. I have no doggone idea. But in any event, we've got to get it working in some way. But let's go ahead and deal with the news, and then we'll come back to it. The 2 women killed in Illinois tornadoes were neighbors and friends. This comes from Fairdale, Illinois. 2 women killed by a devastating tornado system that barreled through northern Illinois shared a friendship, favors, and ultimately a neighborhood that turned out to be a prime target of a twister that also leveled much of their rural hamlet. Jacqueline Cardoza, 69, was found this morning in the rubble of her Fairdale home, not far from where Geraldine Schultz, 67, died Thursday night when the tornado bore down on their neighborhood. The storm cut through the region about 80 miles west of Chicago, injuring more than a dozen rippling buildings and their foundations. Schultz, known as Jerry, and remembered by neighbors in the community of about 150 people as kind-hearted, hosted annual Christmas parties, and made a point of driving Cardoza to clinics for medical treatment. Cardoza, known as Jackie, was described by friends as a friendly and quick-witted woman who spoke her mind. What else is up in the news? Well, let's talk about Pakistan votes to stay out of the Yemen conflict. Pakistan's parliament voted unanimously today to stay out of the Saudi-led air campaign targeting Shiite rebels in Yemen, offering instead to mediate a solution to a blow to the Saudi Arabia's attempts to build a Sunni front in an increasing sectarian conflict. Pakistan's decision is unlikely to greatly affect the Saudi-led coalition's military capabilities, but it was an embarrassment to the kingdom from a traditionally close ally, now reluctant to get pulled into the conflict that is threatening to escalate into a new proxy war between Saudi Arabia and Iran. Saudi Arabia had been seeking to expand the coalition made up of fellow Gulf nations as well as Egypt and Sudan, which has waged a nearly 3-week campaign of airstrikes against the rebels known as Houthis, and is reportedly considering a ground incursion at the same time. Shiite reportedly considering a ground incursion powerhouse in Iran, which backs the Houthis, also lobbied Pakistan and other Sunni nations to back a ceasefire and a negotiated end to the conflict. Now let's see here. I think that what we're going to do is I'm going to continue to see what I can to get this commercial going for us. I don't understand why, I don't understand it because it's a whole brand new system for me. We're going to try and get this thing running again, and that's not working. I don't understand why that's not working. The equalizers are on, everything is going, everything seems to be working properly. Let's see here, mixer is good, and I don't know what the heck's going on. Everything is enabled, and should be fine. So I don't understand what's going on with this thing. Let's try it one more time. That still didn't work. Let's see if we can move this down and up, get that going. Maybe if we cue it, and then try it. That didn't work. Let's see. What if we air it now and uncue it? Let's try that. There we go. Now we've got it cooking, and we're back to work, and we're going to get this thing going. I'm sorry for the delay. This whole system is a little new to me, but I would guess that by Monday afternoon I ought to have it down pat. At least I'm certainly hoping that I'm going to have it down pat. That's what the plan is in any event. Let's go ahead and continue on with the news. Firms push high-tech solutions to fortify airport perimeters. Technology firms increasingly pitch new sensors and software to U.S. airports as a way to bolster exterior security and keep intruders out. But such digital barriers come with a hefty price tag and don't always work. An Associated Press investigation this week documented 268 instances in which people hopped over, crawled under, drove cars through, or otherwise breached the fences and gates protecting the perimeters of 31 of the nation's busiest airport.